I can't believe they let an amateur like you step into the ring.
Every time you so much as open that cruddy pie hole of yours, all you do is prove to the world that you are the biggest dumbass alive.
Welcome everyone to the Omniverse of Nick and part 2 to What If Vegeta Became Immortal. Now, before we get into today's part, just want to remind everybody to smash that like button and subscribe to the Omniverse of Nick so you can help me make this channel bigger, better, and get more awesome stories pumping out for you guys and all that good stuff. With all that out of the way, let's get into today's episode. So Vegeta has reluctantly turned quote-unquote good just because he agreed with the fact that Goku said that even immortality can't always mean him getting stronger than everyone else. People could still be stronger than him and he'll have that used against him. So reluctantly, he's on Earth now, later than when he was. And now, we're getting into the android arc. Now, spoiler alert, there's not a future timeline, which I've done in at least one other scenario. Because of Vegeta's later appearance and his immortality and a few little things like that, this means that even if Trunks is born, the future timeline's timing and everything is just thrown off to the point that there's no point in even bringing it in. And honestly, this could just be a small misconception that I could do for a remake of it, but with how I made this story and how it's gone so far, there's really no point, and I feel there's just no point in putting in the future timeline. Anyways, nobody's really going to train specifically for a threat, because no one knows about a threat. There's no one to warn them about the androids, so they're just ultimately living and training on occasion. Vegeta, on the other hand, is training every single day. With his new immortality, he doesn't have to worry about getting injured. That means he can push himself even to Super Saiyan and a little bit above. But 3 years later, Goku unfortunately meets his end with the heart virus because he still went to Yardrat, which has always been my reason for him getting the heart virus. Many people argue. But that's just my conception of it. Anyways, they try to wish him back with the Dragon Balls, but find out that they can't do it because it was, it had to do with his heart, his life, and we all know that you can't bring someone back from natural causes. And Vegeta, with all his training, finally getting Super Saiyan and immortality and letting Goku live, this is the ultimate shade of betrayal and hate in his eyes. Now, because of the future timeline not happening, and this being technically a different era still, people say that without the future timeline, it would have just been 17 and 18. Which, hey, I get it. But that would just throw to the edge an entire curveball that would ultimately make the story too much like Trunks' timeline, and would ultimately be a carbon copy, which it is. But I feel it better to put 19 and Jiro for variety, and just because I feel that it would have been them regardless. So, eventually, they show up 9 miles off of South City with Vegeta, Krillin, Piccolo, Yamcha, Tien, and Gohan, who Vegeta would have trained to be a Super Saiyan by this point, either him or Piccolo or someone. Number 1, because Goku is dead. Number 2, because Vegeta has immortality, which would put on Gohan and everybody else to train even harder. And number 3, because these androids were once after Goku and everything, they figured that out. And it's just right that for this time and for this story, Gohan has Super Saiyan earlier, just because of everything that's happened. So everyone but Vegeta challenges 19. They're still in the city, mind you. And they all challenge number 19, while Vegeta, in his Super Saiyan form, which he shows, fights Dr. Gero / Android 20. Dr. Gero tries to destroy the city, but Vegeta steps in the way of the blast, taking it head-on in Super Saiyan form. Now, to Dr. Gero, he just stepped in the way of it and he could have teleported in, but this still scares him because there's no way that Vegeta just stepped in the way of that I-beam and doesn't look fazed. So, he does it again, just to be sure that he's not, crazy. He even does it several times, but Vegeta's not hurting. There's no holes, and whatever injury does appear on his chest just regenerates. Vegeta smirks at this, saying, "This is the threat we have to deal with without Kakarot," and punches a hole square into Dr. Gero's chest. But we know that since Dr. Gero made himself an android, or 19 was made so he could become an android, he's immortal and doesn't feel this because 17 did the exact same thing. So if anything, this just allows Gero to get a closer hit and uses this opportunity to blind Vegeta square in the eye. So even if he can regenerate, it's a way to get away, because he knows that if Vegeta can give him this much trouble, the others, especially Goku's son, they're gonna kill 19. So he just books it. And right he is, because 19 is utterly, completely trounced. And they do find out about the absorption, but through Yamcha, Piccolo, Tien, and Gohan, it's ultimately enough to kill Android 19 without it stealing anyone's energy. Even if it was Yamcha or something, it wouldn't matter, because we all know how that went. Vegeta is quite impressed at this, and even if they did need help, Vegeta would instantly trounce 19, or he would just blow up the head for frickin' giggles. After that, Bulma is told or tells everybody about Dr. Gero's lab, figuring out about who he is and everything, and he is at the lab right now to awaken 17 and 18, which results in him getting killed and awakening number 16. But this time, without a Trunks, Vegeta and everyone else just go straight at the end of the lab. Like, since they were at the city this time, it takes them longer to get to the lab. So this means that they would be outside of the lab and not by the door. So Vegeta just blasts the entire landscape of where the lab is, which creates a big explosion. But Vegeta knows that if the doctor's in there and there's more androids, or heck, even if he's just in there alone, Vegeta will not have anything disrupting what has come after Kakarot's death. So he angrily shouts to everyone with him, reluctantly even wanting to team up with him in the first place, to bombard the entire landscape. So Piccolo, Gohan, Krillin, Tien, and Vegeta himself, along with Yamcha's Spirit Ball, bombard the lab's landscape and every mountain around it, which destroys the underground bunker where Present Cell was, and the plans for 17 and 18, which really Present Cell is the only major thing down there, so it's not really that important. But Yamcha's Spirit Ball, either that or 17 would just get out, or one of the blasts would hit him. It kicks 17 out of hiding, which Vegeta instantly sees him and grabs him, asking where the Mad Doctor is and if there's any more of his little pet androids that he's going to personally torment. And they find, yes, there is. Numbers 18 and 16 are revealed. And Vegeta is about to kill them, but then he stops. He realizes that killing these three, even if they were programmed by the Doctor to kill Kakarot, ultimately, he's gone. So ultimately, true, he did have to destroy the Android 19, and the Doctor was unfortunately killed, but these three have pretty much lost their directive. And without Goku anymore, they need people on Earth to defend the Earth. So ultimately, I feel this would lead to Vegeta, especially with his immortality and overconfidence, to spare the androids. Meanwhile, Goku in Otherworld is spending a whole lot of time up there since he can't be wished back, be dying sooner like he did in the Future Era, and unlocking his Super Saiyan 2 and 3 and that whole deal. And this time, since there's no future timeline and no future cell or threat after the androids, Kami would come to Piccolo or request him having an audience, but it would just be because he wants to step down as the Guardian, more or less. So, Piccolo fuses with Kami because of that. And, since Namek wasn't destroyed, it's easier to find Namek and get Dende as the Guardian. So, easier thing. Over the time skip, Vegeta first, obviously, and then Gohan unlocks Super Saiyan 2. Vegeta way sooner because, like I said, with his immortality nixing injuries, this means that he would be able to access Ascended Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2 and that stuff much easier because he would exploit the frick out of Zenkais like he did with Frieza. So, it would make sense that especially with Goku gone, that he would want himself and Gohan and whoever else to be on Earth to defend it, and because he wants to be the leader, because his immortality, overconfidence, the prince. Meanwhile, over this long period, Piccolo's thinking of something to do with Shenron, something that he could use towards his advantage, because with Kami gone, with his power up, he's got an idea, especially of how to deal with Vegeta if, for somehow, some way, another big threat comes, or if Goku somehow comes back, he could have this up his sleeve to deal with not only Vegeta if he becomes too big on ego, but any threat that would make him on equal terms with the Prince and whoever comes his way. But what is Piccolo planning? Does he wish for immortality too? Or is he wishing for even more past it? Find out next time. You guys didn't think this was the end of the video, did you? Well, the Omniverse of Nick has a new feature. A sneak peek at what's next to arrive.
Look on the bright side. At least you're gonna get beat by a real champ.
If you press me again, you a dead man.